So hi guys, welcome back to a new vlog. I think it's been like 3 months since my last one, and I'm not even gonna like say anything about it. We're just gonna move as if like my last video was a week ago and you know exactly where I'm at in my book, because genuinely there's just no reason. I just was focusing on my book, and videos, they've never been like a priority for me. I make the videos just for a bit of fun. So if I have to drop one of them to concentrate more, it's obviously going to be dropping the videos, you know what I mean, if that makes any fucking sense. It's Monday the 11th of July. It's almost 4 p.m. I had an early finish from work today because we got some bad news, so my manager was like, sign off, go have a drink. I've not had a drink. I've opened my personal laptop and I'm straight to work because dedication to its core right here. Let's get back into where I'm at on this thread draft. So I'm sorry. How stupid me was like, oh, I'm sick of like trying to figure out what chapter it is, because draft 2 had 35 chapters, but in draft 3 I've added more chapters and I was getting confused on like what was what. So I've just said to myself, leave it, and then when the third draft is finished I can go in and then section off all the chapters. So I couldn't tell you right now what chapter I'm actually working on. The only concern I have about this chapter is it's not an info dump, because it's done in dialogue. We're teaching someone about something, and whilst that's happening, the reader's also being taught the same thing. What? So yeah, I think it works. I think like I'm just worrying, but I think it's actually okay. Maybe we can finish this chapter in the next hour, but I'm not gonna push myself, because when I push myself, I just disappoint myself. There's a hair in my mouth. I've just spent a good 20 minutes thinking that I broke my camera because it wouldn't turn on. Turns out my battery was still on charge, so that's why it wasn't turning on. But the panic, oh my god. The scene that I'm on right now is quite a sad one, and I'm not really in the mood to write a sad chapter or edit a sad chapter, so part of me wants to like skip ahead just to keep up like progress, to like not stop and just maybe move on to a scene that I will actually be able to work on right now. But I also don't want to leave any more gaps, because I do have quite a lot of gaps in this thread draft that I'm gonna have to go back and fix, especially the funeral scene. I still have a funeral scene unfinished. It's just really hard to write. Like, I just want it to be really wholesome. I want it to be a wholesome funeral chapter, not cliche, not too sad, and I'm struggling with that. So yeah, my main character Amaret, she's really going through it in this chapter, and Tayshian is there for her, but that he's there for her under like difficult circumstances because they've got their own shit going on. So it's a mess. It's really a mess right now, and that's fun to write, but also the emotions that I'm trying to convey I don't really have in me today. So that's kind of what I'm struggling with right now. However, I do like what I've got down. It's not bad, it's not good, it's not great, it is what it is. This sentence I just think is way too clunky. So basically, like, it's the aftermath of the vase, whatever you want to call it, having dropped and smashed on the floor. So it goes like, Tayshian saw the intended move in her eyes before she could make it. So before she had the chance to bend down and pick up the glass with her bare hands, he scooped her up and carried her upstairs. I just feel like I don't like that. But can I do better? That's the question. I don't think so. However, it didn't make the stereotypical smash sound to Amaret. I don't want to say smashed. And shattered across the kitchen floor. However, it didn't make... Whilst it sounded really much like glass smashing across hard tiles, to Amaret, It also sounded a lot like. Also sounded a lot like, I want like the word for like just let go. It sounded like defeat. Defeat, maybe. Defeat? No, that doesn't work. It also sounded a lot like defeat. I don't know. I don't think I like that word. I kind of want it to be, basically she's been holding in all of this emotion and all of this anger, and that glass smashing is just like, it's just, I know the word I'm looking for, but it's not coming. It sounded a lot like just fuck it all. Fuck it all. Maybe we go for surrender. Sounded a lot like surrender. I'm still not sure if I like that word, but for now I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, because this is like literally my pattern, right? I'll be in a groove, sort of still struggling, but like I'm putting the words down, and then suddenly something like this distracts me and I'm just off on a tangent and I don't write again for like another hour. So we're gonna leave that and we're gonna keep going. So I'm right. She bored. And this as well, bored is very, I don't know if I'm saying that right. It sounds like I'm saying bored. She bored. She bored. She wailed. No. I like bored because it's very aggressive, isn't it? Like the word itself is just not nice. So I feel like that might work, but I'm in the groove now. I sort of picked up a groove, so I'm gonna cut this off and see how long it lasts. Probably not much longer because it never does. So we're just going to ignore that massive pile of clothes in the background, just pretend that it's not there because I really cannot be asked to tidy it up. Okay, it's now Saturday the 6th of August, so time is literally flying by. I've got a lot going on at the minute with my job, so like my head hasn't necessarily been in the game. It's been distracted and anxious and everything like that, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's okay. I did some writing last night, and I'm quite happy with, well, no, that's kind of a lie. I'm not really happy with what I was writing last night. So basically the scene that I'm editing right now is like a big surprise. So basically my main character gets surprised by her brother and her sister-in-law, and I just don't like how I've done the reveal. I think I had this issue in draft 2 as well. I felt like my reveal, like the surprise, was either like too dramatic and like not realistic. Like no one would react like that. Like there was lots of gasps and I was just like, ugh, calm down. But now it feels like I've underdone it. It feels like the reaction just isn't like worth, I don't know, it needs to be a little bit more. For example, like to show you the dramaticness, they do the reveal thing and then like it says Amaret jumped into Lucy's arms squealing. And I'm just like, oh, stop squealing. I feel like I am just being too harsh. Like, what is wrong with squealing? Like, if you get good news like that, like you obviously squeal when you react dramatically, do you know what I mean? But I just can't write it, and I feel like that's the issue. That's what I was struggling with last night, and it's probably what I'm going to be struggling with all day today. But I did think I almost met the love of my life this morning. I was walking my dog through River Park, and this guy from a distance looked really attractive. So I was like fixed myself because I see it as bright red, and I had no makeup on and I looked absolutely awful because it was 8 o'clock in the morning. But from a distance he looked really attractive, and I was like, oh my god, he's got a dog, I've got a dog, we're gonna have a meet cute right now. Like our dogs are gonna say hi, and then he's gonna have to say hi to me, and then he's gonna ask me to marry him, do you know what I mean? But obviously as he got closer I was just like, oh. So yeah, and then he said hi, I said hi, and then we just walked our separate ways. So it was kind of disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. I was waiting for my mafia man to just like kidnap me, shove me in the back of his truck. I'm just kidding. I've still got a couple chapters left before I actually finish draft 3, and then I'm gonna have to go back and fill in all the gaps that I've left, because fuck me, I've left quite a few gaps, like genuinely. I've got a whole, like chapter 5, which is like a funeral scene, is not even started. Like the funeral, he might as well still be alive because the funeral's not ready, do you know what I mean? So I got my hair done, and honestly life is good again. I just look brand new tonight, don't lie, obviously. In the beginning of like this fair draft, I basically had draft 2 open on the side, and I was like copying some things and then like changing some things. But as we've gone into like the end of this story and we're on the like final couple of chapters, there's nothing really that I am copying over anymore. It's all new. Like there's still like, I'm still sort of following, no not, I think I have maybe like 3 chapters left to write, edit in this fair draft, and then I can start going back to fill in all the gaps. But these last couple of chapters, when I say they've changed, I genuinely mean it's changed. Like there is nothing that I'm copying over anymore from draft 2. Maybe like the chapter ideas, but like the whole content, and like because it's changed like positions, no, it's like changed, timeline has changed basically. So like everything's had to move, and it's had a knock-on effect throughout everything. So it's been a lot to do. It genuinely has. I'm just so done with it now. I really am. Get that 4 exit door. We have some really cute scenes though. I feel like I've really upped the banter and like the chemistry, and I thought the banter and the chemistry was good in draft 2, but my god, it's so good in draft 3. Like I've really like drawn in on the fact that they're friends. I feel like that's what I was missing in the third half of draft 2. So obviously it's a friends to lovers romance, right? And I feel like in draft 2 I sort of lost the fact that they were friends when they got together. Like obviously they were friends because they genuinely liked each other, but I like didn't continue that friendship banter. Well, I think I did, but not enough, and I wasn't happy with it. So I feel like I've definitely made that more solid. I don't know. The chapter I was working on last night did exist in draft 2, and it's basically Tayshian gives her a gift. He gives Amaret a gift, right? And I've basically just changed how he gives her it and her reaction to it. I've made so much better. Like I was reading through it this morning and I'm so pleased with how it's turned out. Basically like she's so like touched by this gift and like amazed that he's thought of this for her, and he can't, like, he doesn't understand. He's like, it's what? But the way, I'm just so clever with the way I've done it. That's what I'm trying to say. It's 10 to 8 and I'm absolutely starving, so I'm gonna go and reheat some food. And can you guess what I've got to reheat? Fucking Chinese. Absolutely. Some egg fried rice. It's now Monday the 22nd of August, and I think I started this vlog like in July. And I think as well, I think in the beginning of this vlog I was like worried and anxious about my job, but if you care, that's all sorted now. I do have a job. My job is secure. So yay. So yeah, it's all good. I don't have to like give up my Chinese takeaways. I can still live the privileged, lavish life that I live by ordering Chinese takeaway whenever I feel like it. So it's all good. So yeah, we are, oh my god, we are really, oh my god. So we are, I'm in a chapter now that I was a bit dramatic the other day when I said that like everything's brand new. Like a lot of stuff is brand new, but there's also like similar chunks that I am copying over. So like for example, the chapter that I'm working on right now involves Amaret, my main character, her sister-in-law Lucy, and then 2 new characters who have just recently been introduced, obviously because I just said they're new, and they're really important characters to sort of like round off Amaret's like journey, I guess you could say, sort of a little bit. The thing is, I hate describing characters. Like, I really do hate giving visual descriptions. I think mainly because when I'm reading a book, I just use my own descriptions. Like, if they say the love interest has blonde hair, I ignore that completely, and he has brown hair in my eyes, you know? We don't want no blonde boys, I'm sorry. So I feel like I don't really want to push too much description into my story because I just personally don't like it. But saying that, I'm trying to describe these two new characters that I just mentioned. So basically in draft 2, I described these two new characters as the sort of couple that you would see on a John Lewis or like Marks and Spencer's Christmas advert. And for me, that just means like they're borderline like Tory. Like, come on, just a little bit. Like, they just look posh. They look expensive. They look like they shop at Marks and Spencer's and like willingly. Like, they just look posh. They look expensive. They look like they shop at Marks and Spencer's. So like in a Christmas advert, especially for like John Lewis and Marks and Spencer's, the couples always look so put together. They look so expensive and like well taken care of. Like, they get their hair done monthly. Like, there's no flaws. They're just perfect, right? And they're what every couple who sat at home watching the TV is like, damn, they've got their life together. And obviously it's an advert, yeah, but it's that like aspirational fantasy that that couple emphasizes. So basically in draft 2, I only gave a small sentence for this description about like the Christmas advert. I basically said Phoebe and Ferris, who are the new characters, were the sort of couple that would appear on an advert for John Lewis at Christmas. The heartwarming sort that tapped into the most fundamental element of the season, being together. And I like that, but I also want to expand on it a little bit because I really do like this whole Christmas advert metaphor and I want to run with that a little bit longer. So that's what I'm currently trying to do now. I'm trying to like expand on how they give off this energy and why. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. And I mean, he's called Ferris, for God's sake. I know it reminds me of Mark Ferris, who I absolutely adore. But like, if you hear a man that's called Ferris, you just know that he shops at Marks and Spencer's. Like, I'm sorry. Ferris does not shop at Aldi, let's be honest. So it is now Sunday the 28th of August, and I got my period yesterday. So I am just in a foul mood, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about anyone else, but when I'm on my period, writing is like that much harder. I just cannot focus and I just get so frustrated, obviously, like a lot quicker than normal. Basically, what I've noticed... Oh my god, shut up, knowing keys. I think I need some chocolate first because I'm ready to lose the will. Without spoiling too much, there's basically, in this last like chapter, there's this sort of like fundraiser event party sort of thing, and it's just, when I reread it a minute ago in draft 2, there was hardly anything to read. It was like the smallest scene for this massive event, and yeah, it just didn't feel like, I was just like, what was I thinking, to be honest? I don't really know. Clearly I wasn't thinking enough. In draft 2, I didn't acknowledge how much they'd raised. I didn't acknowledge anything really about the fundraiser part. I just sort of focused on like the party bit. So I'm trying to include that bit now, and I'm also having a lot of difficulties with it. I'm trying to describe, I know what I want, I can see it in my head, what I want this sort of money tracker to look like. And it's very dramatic and it's very like excessive, but that's the whole point for this like finale, right? So basically I want this like acrylic tube or acrylic like box, floor to ceiling, in the middle of the room, so it's like the focus point, it's like the main attraction, right? And then I want it to also be like I want like fairy lights like twisted around it so it looks beautiful. And then I want, somehow, don't know how this would work, confetti or like some sort of small pretty item to like trickle down in accordance to the money. Is that right? I was like, no. In accordance, is that the right word? If I just made it up. So yeah, I want that sort of like small pretty item, which I'm thinking is going to be like confetti or like petals or something, to trickle down, and then as they raise money, the acrylic tube fills up higher and higher and higher, and obviously the aim is to fill the thing completely. But how does that work, and how does one write that? I don't know. I'm also thinking, once the confetti or whatever gets filled up to like almost to the brim, it's just gonna look a bit stupid. Is it? That's my issue right now. And I just don't have the energy for it. I just really don't. And also, like, how would it filter down into the tube box, whatever? Someone would have to be like on the next floor up, like dropping it down, or is there like a machine that does that? Oh, do you know what? I'm done. I really am.